first memory of Hiro was going to visit my buddy Greg Pavitt, and we had been friends since junior high or something. But he had these new friends from these other high schools in the district, in the town. And one was Hiro Yamamoto, and the other was Stuart Hallerman, who ended up forming Avast Studios. And I went there, it's like, tall, long-haired Japanese guy, tall, long-haired Jewish guy, tall, long-haired Indian guy. And I thought, this is just so much how my whole life's been. And I was like, hey, Hiro, cool to meet you.
I remember Kim and what was her name? Michelle?
Yeah.
Michelle. That's what I remember, that you'd come by with her, because like, oh, he's got a girlfriend, or whatever, And but that's what I remember seeing Kim, and it's the same kind of thing. Like us brownskins just gravitate. So when you see another one, and you're like, oh wow, he's got to be okay, he's got long hair.
We were in this progressive alternative academic program in high school called the Active Learning Process School. ALPS, and everyone generally referred to it as, by that acronym.
ALPS was kind of built on this idea. We didn't get grades, for one. In order to get a credit, you had to write an evaluation of what you learned.
Bruce Pavitt, the founder of Sub Pop Records, was a year older than me, 2 years older than Hiro. He was one of the first students involved in this school.
Got pretty feet, baby. I got pretty feet too. You don't know what I need, baby. What I need is you.
We behave in ways that are probably more like our friends than like our parents.
Yeah, right. I kind of feel like when I saw other Asian people that I didn't want to be as Asian as they were.
I would distinguish myself from them, and initially from other Indian people I met, thinking, no, I'm the guy who likes comic books, I'm the guy who likes rock and roll, I'm the guy who likes baseball. And I just kind of assumed the more Indian you were, the less likely you were to have these shared interests with me. My mom also taught music before she taught English at the same junior highs, so she, same thing, classically trained at piano, but I was less inclined to sit next to my mom at the piano bench learning piano, and more inclined to hold a tennis racket and pretend it was an electric guitar. I was in a band called Identity Crisis before Hiro and I moved out to Seattle. And at some point, everyone in Identity Crisis, their dads either taught at the University of Chicago or were students there. But then punk rock started happening as a response to that, and we were of that age. Now we're learning. Now we're learning how to play. Now we're making friends, and this is happening.
Yeah. And punk rock kind of said to us, you can do this.
Yes.
It wasn't like, prog rock was more like, oh, those are just these weirdo dudes who play guitar all day long. And like punk rock was like, us people, us normal little kids, we can
do it.
This is our stuff.
We don't have to be in a stadium either. Bruce Pavitt, who we mentioned earlier as being, a friendly acquaintance of ours, and somewhat influential because he was an early student at ALPS, and he was older than us. He went off to Blackburn College in Illinois for a couple of years, and then went to Evergreen in Olympia, which is one of those potential destinations for students from ALPS. You can go and have you join a college program that was similar. Bruce started sending back little cultural care packages. He would send singles and albums and magazine fanzines that were coming out of the Evergreen State College, Olympia, Seattle area. And Bruce is having fun there, and he started a fanzine. He's sharing with us all the stuff that's going on there. So there's a bit of a magnetic attraction right there. The music, the school.
And then for me, I think when I was a junior in high school, my sister and I drove out during spring break to Oregon, the Oregon coast. And so we just basically jumped in the car and drove west.
Your Datsun B210?
Yeah. That adventure west and seeing the ocean and the evergreen trees, coming from Chicago and the flatlands of Park Forest, and the industrial wasteland of the South Side, that was really what attracted me. Besides the evergreen
Ecotopia.
yeah, Ecotopia. I mean that is another Alpsish kind of thing.
It's another
What-
body of literature.
from the Alps era was
Yeah.
like you're in this Ecotopia, and it's funny because we come to Seattle and it's a cowboy town.
Loggers.
When we came here, there were guys in cowboy hats and cowboy boots.
Resisting Ecotopia because
And-
there's
and-
money in them darn logs.
Yeah.
There's that sense of community Hiro described, which was also connected to what Stuart was doing, learning to be a recording engineer at Evergreen, and what Bruce was doing with his fanzine and DJing at KAOS radio. I think that sense that we had learned in Alps and that was connected with other alumni from Alps and non-alumni who were very much part of that same spirit that we shared, brought some of that noise here.